You're watching The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dan Wickline Show. We're going to be doing another giveaway today. Pretty sure we're doing that. And we're going to talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. But I wanted to start with a story from, it's kind of important to, let me put it this way. My mother was born in England. My mother was actually born in Gloucestershire. And I kind of keep tabs on it. If I see Gloucestershire in the news, I pay attention. It makes me perk up. Now, my mom was 7 when she came over on the USS America, and really is about as English as, I don't know, water. She is not English at all. I'm more English than she is. But like I said, I keep tabs on Gloucestershire. And this is an actual headline from the Gloucestershire Live, which is their news thing. And it says, bomb squad called to the Gloucestershire Royal Hospital after a man gets a World War II mortar stuck up his bottom. Now you have to appreciate the fact that they use bottom. Very British. But it goes on, and the next line has 2 word choices that are just, whoever this writer is brilliant. They say, the man was a military enthusiast. If you're going to end up with a mortar up your bum, you must have been pretty enthusiastic about it. Mind you, the actual thing says, the man was a military enthusiast who found the shell while clearing out, but somehow tripped and fell onto the 57 millimeter piece of Army ordnance that landed him in the hospital. Landed him in the hospital. Now, they don't bother to tell you whether or not he was naked at the time, because I think that's an important part of the story. Because how many people just do a clear out of their attic or their garage in the buff? So if this happened once every 10 years, I might buy that somebody in a bizarre freak accident had something happen. I'm not buying this one. I mean, maybe it was sticking straight up and the guy fell backwards, stumbled backwards. I don't know. But well, at least he's going to have a story to tell down at the pub, right? Stay tuned for the Dan Wickline Show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Dan Wickline Show here on The Experience. It is Thursday, August 10th. Already it's August. Can you believe that? All right, we've got a great show for today, but please, while you're here, hit those like and subscribe buttons. And we're going to kind of jump right into things. We're going to be giving that giveaway, so make sure you put the hashtag in exactly as it appears, all capitals, so that by the end of the show, we can choose a winner and show you what you won if you do win. But remember, if you've already won, you can't win again. Sorry about that. Not my rules. Those are Nick's. Take it up with him. Just push him under the bus there. So before I get started on the news, yesterday we talked about speaking of Dynamite, they're launching a Kickstarter for a new Fire and Ice board game. And I looked at it a little bit yesterday, but the thing actually launched today. And I got to see the miniatures that they're putting in there. Now, in the last 6 months or so, I've really gotten into building and painting miniatures. And just to show, I mean, I'm not great, but, I did a Hulk. This is the only Warhammer guy that I have painted in the room. But, so I've been working on them. And I took a look at the miniatures they're doing. There's Dark Wolf and, a couple of, I think there's a dozen or something like that. But the three main characters are all there. And they look awesome. I'd love to get my hands on the Dark Wolf mini and paint him up and maybe throw him into a D&D campaign or something. But so if you haven't checked it out yet, JD just put the link in the chat. So take a look at it. It's a pretty good game. And I'm back there. You'll see I've got a few different board games and stuff. And I've played the Dynamite, did a Red Sonja one and a Reanimator one. And I've got those, and they're both pretty good. So might be worth checking out if you are a tabletop game enthusiast. Just don't trip and fall on the box. Ed says, Dan, you have me in tears over here. Literally, I don't think I buy the Tripped and Fell story. Yeah. So, all right. By the way, hello to, YouTube wouldn't let me. Okay. Hello to Ed, to Triple B, to Easy, to Clayton, to Cool, to Steve, Figure. What else we got here? And Canadian Survivalist. I've got my own line of action figures Soul Survivors. Oh, very cool. We'll have to check those out. All right. Let's get into the news. Okay, we got a lot of weird news today. It's kind of all over the place. We're going to start with the CW has pushed back the premiere of its anticipated eco-thriller, The Swarm. Not the Spider-Man villain, but actually based on Frank Schatzing's best-selling novel. And it's being produced by Game of Thrones producer Frank Doliger. The series now will premiere in September, actually on the 12th at 9 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, a week later than the initially had planned to be on September 5th. Now, the CW got this series, the U.S. rights to this series, back in May. It's an 8-part series about an unknown enemy that lives deep below the sea. This originally comes from Germany, and has already aired over in Germany. If you are a fan of the Emmys, bad news is that it's getting pushed. The Emmys officially have a new date. Fox and Television Academy were set to announce this morning that the 75th and I'm going to try that again. Fox and the Television Academy were set to announce this morning that the 75th Emmy Awards will shift to Monday, January 15th, 2024 at 8 p.m. This puts the ceremony on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Also means it will finally air nearly 4 months after it was originally planned for September 18th. Now, Variety is reporting that it was kind of clear that this was going to happen with the WGA and the SAG-AFTRA strikes. Nobody would have showed up. So now Fox originally wanted to postpone to January, while the TV Academy just wanted to go to November. But with the way current negotiations are going, November seems like it's going to be too soon. Different vendors who work at the Emmys kind of got a heads up that this was coming because of having to prepare stuff, and they were told, hold off. Thoughts on Disney Plus losing subscribers, increasing the price of their subscription. The reason they lost subscribers is in part and in a large chunk of those subscribers were lost because they gave up cricket. They stopped airing cricket. So a lot of people left Disney Plus. But if you look at the actual numbers, there is a bit of a rise. The raising of the price is interesting and a little disappointing because it's another $3 up, but it's not that long ago they raised to $10.99. But they are going to announce a deal where you get both Hulu and Disney Plus, so that might be worth checking out. Maybe save a little money there. But I think all of these streaming services are going to be raising money because it's a business. And there's going to become a price point where people stop. Like Netflix is what, $19.99 now? And if you want a friend account on there, it's another $7-8. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So, hello, Phil. Hello, Lou. Nita. Good to see you all. All right. Let's see. Sad news. Johnny Hardwick, who voiced Dale on King of the Hill, died on August 8th in his home in Austin, Texas. He was 64. Now, Hardwick and his character had this distinctive Texas drawl and had been with the Emmy win, had been with the series since 1997 through its final episode on Fox in 2010. Now, earlier this year, Hulu had announced that, and this is where the reruns are currently at, said that there would be a revival of the series, but Hardwick had not had a chance to complete any recordings before the time of death. They're saying that the actor's death was confirmed by the Austin coroner's office, but no foul play is suspected, and the cause of death is pending per a coroner's investigation. Hello, Robert. Good to see you. JD says they're going off living off of venture capital to needing to make money to function. Yep, $19.99 for Netflix. Yeah, I've actually contemplated canceling Netflix a few times. I still need to watch The Witcher. I may do it after that because I don't know what's coming up that's worth hanging on to it for a long term. Cricket like Disney Plus Hotstar? Yeah, they lost it in India. Yep, that's exactly. So a lot of those numbers are the Hotstar cancellation. So, hey, Kenneth. All right, moving on. We got Sacha Baron Cohen is bringing back Ali G, the controversial character that kind of made him a household name, We didn't even know who Sacha was until Ali G. Now, Variety says that Baron Cohen has been working on a stand-up tour in which Ali G will make an appearance, but a source close to Baron Cohen strenuously denies a new movie, however, because the writer and actor is strictly abiding by strike rules. And they say, as a SAG and WGA member, he is supporting the ongoing strike alongside his fellow writers and actors. The source told Variety. Now, in 2021, the comedian resurrected the Staines-based rapper during a secret gig at the Comedy Store in Sydney, Australia, saying, I just wanted to get on stage and muck around and see what Ali G would be like with a crowd. It was really good fun. So it does sound like he may be just doing stand-up with the character. Or if suddenly when the strike ends, boom, there's a new movie. We know what he was working on during that. All right. Hello, Pablo. Good to see you. I'm sorry, Pablito. And Kapow Comics is here. Francisco is here. Very nice. Good to see you guys. Please hit those like and subscribe buttons while you're here. And make sure you put in the hashtag to get into the entry. We'll be drawing that at the end of the show. Okay, moving on to, we have some Taylor Swift news. Oh, by the way, hello, Maria. Taylor Swift told the Los Angeles crowd on the final night of the 2023 U.S. leg of the Eras Tour that her next re-recorded album will be the 1989 album. And the Wednesday announcement capped a wave of fan speculation that Swift would reveal the 1989 re-recording on 8/9, which she did. She alluded to that when breaking the news at the top of the acoustic section towards the end of the concert, while also pointing out to the string of blue outfits she'd been wearing during the show, including the one she had on for the announcements. 1989 was Swift's fifth studio album, was released back in 2014. 9 years later to the date, 1989 will drop on October 27th, 2023. Swift has been re-recording some of her albums after her former label, Big Machine Records, sold her masters in 2019. She has been vocal about her desire to have control over her work. So, yep. Now, who else we got? Well, Daniel's here. Daniel won yesterday. 62 Lefty Blues is here. Sheldon, good to see you. Javier. All right. We're getting a good audience today. Cool. All right, let's move on. We were talking about Disney. In a new earnings report, Disney gave an update on Captain Marvel 2's release date. On an update list of the studio's upcoming releases between September 2023 and June 2024, from the studio's Q3 2023 financial call, Brie Larson's The Marvels is still listed for a release on November 10th, 2023, indicating that the delay is not currently being planned. That said, another Marvel Studio movie, however, does look like it's going to get delayed. That would be none other than the Ryan Reynolds Deadpool 3. While it's previously was set for May 3rd, 2024, it's not currently listed on their chart, nor is the upcoming Echo series that's supposed to come out in November. So there may be some plans. We may hear something about that pretty soon. Rosario is here now too. Hello, Rosario. News is saying that Tay-Tay stands at SoFi is going to bring about $320 million to the LA GDP. Absolutely. So, okay, I removed my entry above, then message website. Couldn't get widget to load in. Oh, so you weren't able to get yesterday's prize? If so, I'll let JD deal with that. I'm watching the Marvels because of Zeb Wells. Fair enough. Yeah, there's been a lot of negativity about the Echo series and the fact that they're just going to drop it all. That's not a good sign. But nobody's actually seen it. So we'll have to wait and see. It says, at this rate, it might be a long and boring autumn for things to talk about. Yeah, no kidding. So, all right. A little bit more news here. We've got Whip Media is a group that keeps track of movie premieres over the weekend. And they shared the ranking of the top streaming movies in the United States over the August 4th through 6th weekend. And no surprise that at the top are two Chris Pratt movies. Both Super Mario's made their debut. Super Mario Brothers and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 made their debut. And what also may not be surprising is that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which airs on Disney Plus, is at number 1. And the Super Mario Brothers movie, which airs on Peacock, is at number 2. Because Peacock doesn't have the number of subscribers that Disney Plus has. Oh, we have a pastor in the building. Hello, Pastor Michael. I'm glad you weren't here for my joke earlier, but you're welcome. Let's see. Number 3 on that list was Transformers: Rise of the Beast. 4 was Happiness for Beginners on Netflix. 5 was Hidden Strike on Netflix. They Cloned to Tyrone came in 6th. The Meg came in 7th. Extraction 2 in 8th. The Outlaws in 9th. And the horribly bad 65 in 10th. I watched 65 a few weeks ago, and that was just a bad movie. It really was. It wasn't 2015 Fantastic Four bad, but it wasn't very good. So, is it my phone or is your volume low? Okay. If anybody else is having volume problems, please let me know, and we'll see about maybe trying to turn it up a bit. Otherwise, we're going to keep going. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 debuted this weekend, and there's another company called Samba, which keeps track of viewership over a debut weekend, or a debut, was it 6 days? First 5 days. Okay, so I'll move in a little bit, but 10-4, okay. So where do you think Guardians of the Galaxy falls in the Phase 4 and Phase 5 movies for Disney Plus? Well, it debuted 8th out of 8. It was the lowest, and it's maybe because more people saw it in the theater than these others, but the number one movie in its first 5 days from Marvel is Black Widow, which took in 1.1 million viewers. Shang-Chi was second, Eternals third, Wait, I got to flip these around a bit. Don't have these in order. I'm sorry. Thor: Love and Thunder was number one with 2.2 million. Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness and Black Panther: Wakanda Forever tie at 2.1 million. Eternals at 2 million. Shang-Chi at 1.7 million. And then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 at 1.3 million. Black Widow's at 1.1 million, but that one's probably thrown off by the fact that you had to pay for Black Widow separately. So, all right. People were mad when it was announced that She-Hulk writer is going to be writing Deadpool 3. I later found out it was Zeb Wells. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know Zeb Wells was actually going to be working on that, but all right, that is our news. We're going to take our first break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So, be right back.
The Experience celebrates 2,000 subscriptions with 20, that's right, 20 CGC slab giveaways. A slab book giveaway on every show all week long, as a thank you from The Experience. To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey. And behind every page, there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
According to a statistic that I just made up, people spend 4 hours a day changing the television channel. People who watch The Experience don't do that. Save yourself a ton of time by tuning into The Experience and enjoying our new original programming 7 days a week. And then tell your friends. Think about the money they could save on batteries in the remote alone just by tuning into The Experience. Find out more by scanning the QR code below.
everybody, welcome back to the Dan Wickline Show here on The Experience. Please remember to stick around today. We've got What's in the Box coming up later, and Sketch Up with Mog and Mel, and their guest is, what was his name? Martin. JD will come up with it.
It's Martin Zavala. I remember because it's the same name of the guy, the Destiny video game guy.
Martin Zavala or Telly Savalas, one of the two. So you want to stick around for that? No, they should both be giving away slabs as well. So you want to stick around for all of that. Before we get into talking about Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I want to bring up or mention what Figure Drawing talked about and how She-Hulk was flaws, and that is largely why the show worked. I agree that not every show is for everybody. Absolutely. There are shows that people love that I don't. But I don't go out and spread hatred about them. It takes a lot to get me to hate something. I think since I've been doing this show, the only two things I've ever talked about hating was that Fantastic Four 2015 movie and the ABC Murders on Amazon Prime that has John Malkovich playing Hercule Poirot and not even bothering to do an accent. It is one of the worst adaptations of an Agatha Christie property ever, and I hate it. And the only other thing I can think of that I hated was what Seth Rogen did to Green Hornet. That's about it. By the way, he means you, Daniel, not me, Daniel. So I can usually find something good in most movies. I mean, I didn't get the hate for Geely or for Showgirls. I know they're bad movies, but hate just seems over the top. You know, She-Hulk was very different than everything else Marvel's done. And it was very similar to what John Byrne did with the character back in the 80s, which is a series I loved. So I had fun with She-Hulk. It was silly. Now, the end, the little meeting with Kevin thing, to me, that's kind of a hard one to sell in a cohesive universe. But other than that, I'm good. I was good with She-Hulk. I have liked, to one extent or another, just about everything Marvel has put out, with the lowest one on my rank being Thor: Love and Thunder, because I just don't think it's that good a movie. But there are some funny moments in it and some good acting in it. It's just, I think it was the weakest of the movies. But I will still take a Marvel property so far over some of the other stuff that's out there. You know, I'll watch Thor: Love and Thunder again before I watch Wonder Woman 1984 again. Just saying. So, yeah, I think the reason Thor Ragnarok worked is because there was a cohesive story that was kind of lighthearted, even though it was Ragnarok. They found, you know, that when it needed to be serious, it was. With Thor 4, there was this shift, like sudden left turn into cancer talk. And when you're dealing with the mythical destruction of a mythical land, people can kind of relax a little bit. When you start talking about a person having stage 4 cancer, you hit home too much for too many people to then go and do, you know, butt jokes. So I think that the tonnage there was part of the problem. But let's see, did I miss anything important in the chats? So, okay. Yeah, I see. Now, I liked Ant-Man 3, but Ant-Man 3 had Hank Pym showing up with all the ants looking like a badass in a trench coat. And that right there made it go boop, 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 boop in the movie for me. So, James Gunn produces great stories, great movies. Yes, yes, he does. I watched Guardians. I had not seen Guardians yet. So let's go ahead and get into Guardians. Just in case somebody hasn't seen it yet, JD, you want to do the spoiler thing real quick? Should have warned him I was going to do that. I love our spoiler warning. Anyway, so I finally got to sit down and watch Guardians 3 last night. And I was a little hesitant going into it. And I think it's partly because without being able to, I haven't been able to get into the theaters a lot this year. So I see a lot of the feedback and a lot of the talk, and I hear a lot of the things that happen in the movie. So I kind of go in and it's like, do I really want to see all the relationship stuff between Star-Lord and Gamora? You know, the whole speaking on the wrong mic thing and stuff like that. And because those scenes are kind of awkward. And I'm not somebody who enjoys those awkward moments. But I did sit down to watch it last night. And there were some awkward moments early on. But that movie has so much heart. And it's probably one of the tightest trilogies that ever made. You know, I mean, there really isn't weakness in it. It's, you know, there are flaws in it, but, you know, they're subtle things. It's not big, glaring stories. You have through lines for characters. You know, we get to the third movie and we see so much growth in Nebula, a character that we didn't even realize was going to be important in the first movie. Growth in Rocket, in Groot, even in someone like Adam Warlock, who started off being, you know, the bad guy, and by the end of it, you realize he's just a kid. He's just a kid that needs a place to be, a place to, you know, to fit in, and the Guardians are that for him. Also, I think Chukwudi Iwuji just did a great job playing the High Evolutionary, because it didn't strike me as a character who was a mustache twirling villain, a megalomaniac, or anything like that. High Evolutionary, or Herbert Wyndham, is a guy who is so focused on his work and what he wants to do that he looks past humanity, he looks past morality, he just looks at his goals. He doesn't care who he has to kill, who he has to hurt to get to where he wants to go. And then on the other end of that, you have Rocket, who it's basically his story when you look at it overall. But you also, you know, Rocket's growth and stuff, and how he doesn't choose to kill him at the end. But Peter loses his entire family, gets taken into space, ends up bonding with this new group who basically abuse him. I mean, Yondu loved him, but it was kind of an abusive relationship. And then he ends up with this group of Guardians who, you know, he finds a bond with. And then when Rocket is in danger, I see a level of acting I didn't expect out of Chris Pratt. that I wasn't sure he was capable of. Because there was worry, there was anger, there was confidence, and which is so much different than the cocky character we started with. He had plans that he not only knew would work, but basically worked. He, in the beginning, he had 11% of a plan. Now he just turns around and hands guns to Groot and goes, "You know what to do with these. That they've already talked about it. This plan is worked out," before they even got there. Yeah. The Mary Poppins line is great. But I am amazed at how James Gunn was able to make us care about all these characters, but still keep them being unique. Mantis never blurred into Nebula, into Gamora. They are all unique characters. And when you see at the end Mantis going, talking about how she's always just done what people wanted her to, you've seen that, and how she gets treated and stuff. Drax, the story arc for Drax, from going to being a father back to being a father in the end, is this amazing arc. So Ed says, did you catch the headline on Star-Lord's grandpa's newspaper? Yes. References to Kevin Bacon being kidnapped, having to do with the holiday special, which fits so well into the movie too. But I mean, every character, Kraglin had an arc. So when people talk about James Gunn going over to the DCU and they're worried for some reason, I don't see why. Look at what he's done with C and D, well, probably D level characters from Marvel. And I mean, Rocket, Groot, Drax, Gamora, Nebula, Star-Lord, Yondu. I mean, it's pretty amazing what they were able to do. Now, there are some flaws in the movie, like the fact that there's a whole scene with the Ravagers where Sylvester Stallone as Starhawk is explaining what they need to do and all of that, but they can't get you there, so you're going to have to float in spacesuits. It's like, hang on a second. Don't you have a sorcerer there that looks like a giant dragon thing who can open portals with a sling ring? Why didn't he just go and put them inside? So there are flaws in the movie, but it's a fun movie. And I'm going to admit it, that I was there watching them after they got the code and were trying to save Rocket. And it was Peter Quill and it was Gamora, and they were working together to try to save Rocket. And Gamora had already grown to the point she was trying to help, because this is not the Gamora we met earlier. Not the original Gamora, but this Gamora. And as I'm watching just the pain that Peter's going through and the desperation that he's trying to save his friend, I started tearing up. And I knew Rocket was going to live. I've seen the post-ending scene online before this. I knew that he's in the post-credit scene. I knew that he decides not to kill the High Evolutionary, yet I am tearing up for this animate or CGI raccoon. Pretty amazing. So, yeah, I am really impressed with the movie. Now, again, there's still those awkward moments that I'm not a big fan of. The whole Peter Gamora scenes they're awkward and they feel like they belong in a sitcom, and that's not my thing. But I don't say they're bad. I'm saying that I prefer those. I don't like those scenes. There are other scenes in other Marvel movies that I'm not a fan of. The whole destruction of the Illuminati, all the body horror and stuff. Not a body horror guy. Not a big fan of that scene either. But the rest of the movie is great. So, what do you think they meant at the end credit scene when it said Star-Lord would return? What do you think he'll return in? I know that there was talk between Chris Pratt and James Gunn about doing a Star-Lord solo movie which focused on him trying to adapt to being back on Earth. I don't know if that'll happen. Now, that sounds like something they could easily do as a special or a series. But that said, I think he's going to be part of the upcoming Avengers movies. Now, I don't know if we'll get all the other characters back, because a lot of them are saying they're done. Drax says he's done. Zoe Saldana says she's done. So we probably aren't going to get the full Guardians team again. But you may get Mantis showing up with her Abelisks. You probably are going to get Adam Warlock, and all the people in that closing credit scene as the Guardians all plan on returning. So Quill and his grandpa will be so funny. Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'd love to see that. Mojo says, remember like 19, 15, 20 years ago when people loved B movies and movies that were basically bad but still good and we loved them? When did we get to a point of people only liking perfect movies? That's a good point. That is a very good point. There are some movies that are bad but you still enjoy. There's a lot of them out there. I think of Buckaroo Banzai. I love Buckaroo Banzai. Not the greatest movie ever made, but so much fun. Phyla Vell will be interesting to dig into. Yeah, especially if she gets the Moonstone girlfriend. Not Moonstone, Moondragon. Jay says, completely agree with Mojo. When did $1 billion become the benchmark? Yeah, and again, I agree with you too. See, I'm standing on the hill over here saying I liked Quantum Mania. I'm okay with how they did MODOK, because I don't think MODOK's a character that we would have gotten in any other way. And I love Jack Kirby. I met him when I was a kid. He is my inspiration for even getting into this industry. But MODOK is a silly ass character. So, yeah. So, sorry guys, I haven't been able to keep up with the comments as much, but so yeah, I really, really enjoyed Guardians last night. It was such a breath of fresh air after watching the Fantastic Four 2015 movie. But like I said, there were some really good moments. And I like the fact that they didn't kill the High Evolutionary. And if you haven't found out this yet, he's one of the people Drax is carrying him when they come out of the ship. He ends up in a prison cell on Nowhere. So if we need that character again, he's there, because I think Chukwudi Awuji is a really good actor. He's a find that James Gunn made on Peacemaker, and now he's over here, and I think that's great. Pastor Michael thinks that MODOK would work great in She-Hulk. Yes, I will give you that. Absolutely, he would work great in She-Hulk. But yeah, I mean, Jack Kirby did some great stuff, but he also did some pretty silly designs. They were designs of its era. So some of them work, some don't. So I still watch old 80s sci-fi B movies with terrible CGI and love them. Yeah, same here. Beastmaster. Love the movie Beastmaster. Kodo and Podo. I used to think about buying ferrets just to have two named Kodo and Podo. With the Marvel bloated budgets, they need to make billions of dollars just to break even. I kind of take from Adam Devine's thing the other day is I think that people don't go to the movies as much as they used to. So they're very choosy of which movies they're going to see. And a lot of people choose to spend the money on the big budget ones over the smaller ones. So you're not getting a lot of those because they're not getting any traction in the theaters. There's not a DVD market anymore. So basically your B movie stuff is your Netflixes, like the Stallone movie, The Samaritan. That was a B movie. It had some major flaws, but I enjoyed it. You know? We won't be getting any movies in 2024 or 2025 due to strike. That's a good chance of that. So Clayton says, I'll take any comic book movie, good or bad, as long as they keep coming. Yeah. So, all right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. I got some key collectibles. I don't know if we'll have time to do them or not. And we have the giveaway, but we'll be right back.
Did you know that every experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out, twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code.
Comic Collectibles is a pretty straightforward show. You got Rex here, he sells the comics, and you got Rockin' Robbie, he knows about the comics. And finally, John, well, no one really knows what John does. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a great guy, but he just keeps showing up. Come to think of it, I don't even really know how he gets in here. Anyway, awesome comics, rare books, rarer signatures, slabbed books, and amazing cover sketches by Ken Hazer and others. Simple formula, you want the comics, you buy the comics. To sum up, Rex sells the comics, Robbie knows the comics, and John, who might possibly be a ghost. I mean, seriously, has anyone ever seen him show up or leave? Comic Collectibles with Rex and John, Mondays from 6 to 8 Eastern on The Experience. Comic culture and sales.
The Experience celebrates 2,000 subscriptions with 20, that's right, 20 CGC slab giveaways. A slabbed book giveaway on every show all week long. As a thank you from The Experience.
What if Hans Gruber from Die Hard had to battle the Joker from Batman the Animated Series in a dance battle? Or who would win in a race between Baby from Baby Driver and Snidely Whiplash? If Austin Powers and Shrek found themselves in a hot dog eating contest, who would emerge victorious? These are the questions we talk about on Nerd Killer Warfare. Debate the most absurd questions you've ever heard in popular culture. Register now by scanning the QR code or visiting bit.ly/EXP casting. Go follow The Experience on TikTok at @the_EXP1 or scan the QR code on the screen. Our TikTok is like everywhere else we are, except you only have to deal with us for a minute. Seems like a win-win to me.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dan Wickline Show here on The Experience. Please hit that like and subscribe button. JD, let's go ahead and hold over the Human Torch books for Tuesday. We're a little too close, and I don't want to rush the giveaway because I want everybody right now, if you have not put the hashtag into the chat yet. JD will put it up on the screen. That exactly as it is, hashtag EXP2K. Put that in the chat. By the way, Clayton, I was going to ask, Halle Berry in Catwoman or Halle Berry in Swordfish? Which is your preference? All right. Yeah, the WGA is meeting with AMPTP tomorrow, and they are responding to the latest proposal. So fingers crossed, maybe something will move forward on that. Again, thank you guys for all the likes, the shares, and thank you all for being here this week. I have had a lot of fun having all these extra voices and stuff and participating. You guys have been participating in the show. It's been awesome. And I hope that next week you guys want to come back even when I'm not giving away a free slab. So I will be here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as I am every week and would love to have you guys come back. So let's see. Halle Berry is Storm. Nice. All of the above from Clayton. Swordfish for two obvious reasons. Now, Pablito, we do have a pastor in the room. So I guess technically two, because I have the ability to do weddings. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead. We are going to do the giveaway. Remember, if you've already won, you can't win again, at least in this round of books. So making sure everybody's gotten in there, got their Skippy, you missed the hashtag. Let's give Skippy a chance to redo it with the hashtag. Hashtag EXP2K. Hey, Lieutenant's here. Nice. All right, Skippy's in, Spidey's in. Think we're ready to go. JD, take it away. Javier. Congratulations, Javier Wallace. Now, JD, tell him what he's won. You have won Thor number 6. This is a CGC graded 9.8 comic with the lovely Thanos on the cover. So this will be, we are going to put a link in the chat for Javier to click and give his information and stuff. So Javier, the link will be coming up in just a second. And otherwise, thank you guys again for tuning in. We do this all week, or we do this 3 times a week. I also do it Sunday nights on my own channel on Popco the Writers, where I'm joined by ex-Marvel employee Jim Beard. But please tune in. We're here 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. We'd love to have you guys all come back next week. All right. So thank you all. We're going to wrap it up here. And Javier, there is your link. So definitely follow that. By the way, Ed says if you get the widget error, don't worry. I got it too, and it still worked. They don't know why that keeps popping up. Okay. Good information, Ed. Thank you. Clayton says, thanks again, Dan. Glad I was turned into this new favorite YouTube show. Well, thank you very much. My personal one is Dan Wick 70. So, and I've got a lot of psychology. I do psychology of villains. Popco the Writers are all on there. So you can check that out as well. So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap that up there. Thank you again, all. Stick around. A little later tonight will be What's in the Box and then Sketch Up. So we'll see you later. Take care.
Do you remember what it was like when you were a little kid and you got a letter in the mail? Now imagine that letter was filled with information about your favorite shows, pop culture questions, links to things you're going to want to see later, and even sneak peeks at upcoming programming here on The Experience. That's what the EXP mailing list is. Every week, we send you sneak peeks, information, and all of the relevant links for all of the shows you want to see. Sign up now on our website or scan the QR code that's on your screen right now.